The awakening in the mist. Serenity arrived before the sun. The soft hum of the wind drifted through the wooden beams of a small hermitage perched high among the mountains. Elias, a weary traveler seeking peace from the world's endless demands, slowly opened his eyes. The air was cool, crisp, and scented with pine and earth. A silver mist floated outside, wrapping the temple in a cocoon of silence. He sat up slowly, feeling his breath expand and soften, as though the morning itself was breathing with him. Outside his door stood Master Rinhai, an elderly monk with calm, observant eyes. "Today," the master said gently, "you learn to hear the mist." Elias hesitated. Hear the mist? But he didn't question, for something about Rinhai felt like still water, deep and unshakable. Together, they stepped outside into the pale blue dawn where every droplet of mist shimmered like suspended stars. What followed would change Elias in ways he could not yet imagine. The sound of silence. Master Rinhai led Elias to an open terrace of ancient stones arranged in a perfect circle. The ground was moist, the air thick with dew, and the valley below was hidden beneath a blanket of fog. The world felt paused. "Sit," said the master. They sat. At first, Elias attempted to calm his mind by force, pushing aside thoughts, clenching inwardly, demanding stillness. But his mind bucked like a wild horse. Memories from the city, old fears, unsettled doubts, questions about the future, all stormed forward. Frustrated, he whispered, "Master, I can't silence it." Rinhai opened his eyes and smiled with infinite patience. "The mist does not fight the wind. It dances with it. Your mind is the same. Do not chase silence. Let silence find you." Elias took a breath. Instead of resisting his thoughts, he observed them, watched them drift in and out like patches of fog. Slowly, their grip loosened. A subtle warmth blossomed in his chest. For the first time, silence became not an absence, but a presence. The tea of mindful attention. Later that morning, the master invited Elias to a small wooden hut where a kettle already simmered. The room smelled of bamboo, earth, and the sweet aroma of tea leaves. Rinhai moved with deliberate slowness. Every gesture, lifting the kettle, pouring water, stirring the leaves, was almost ceremonial. It mesmerized Elias. "Why do you move so slowly?" he asked. "Because haste blinds the spirit," the master replied. "In slowness, you see. In slowness, you feel. In slowness, you awaken." Elias accepted the cup with both hands. The warmth seeped through his palms, sending a wave of comfort through his arms. He breathed deeply, sensing the steam rising, the fragrance expanding, the liquid touching his lips. With that sip, the world narrowed to one perfect moment. "This," said Rinhai, "is mindfulness, the universe in a single breath, peace in a single sip." Elias realized how much of life he had rushed past without noticing. The river of release. By afternoon, they reached a flowing mountain river. Sunlight scattered across its surface in flickering diamonds. The sound of water over stone was like an eternal mantra. The master instructed, "Place your hands in the water." Elias did. The river felt alive, cold, pure, ever moving. It slipped through his fingers effortlessly. "This river," Rinhai said, "is time. It never stops. It never returns. Trying to hold it only brings pain." Elias looked down, heart aching with memories of past mistakes, regrets he kept replaying, emotions he clung to tightly. Rinhai handed him a smooth stone. "Give the river what you no longer need." For a moment, Elias could barely breathe. He whispered his burdens into the stone. Loss, guilt, expectations, the constant weight of trying to be enough. And with trembling hands, let it fall into the river. The splash was small, but inside, something vast shifted. A quiet, tender lightness spread through him. The forest that listens. They wandered into an old forest where towering trees reached like ancient guardians toward the sky. Everything smelled of moss and wood. The air was dense with green stillness. "Lean against the tree," said the master. Elias pressed his back to the trunk of a massive cedar. At first he felt nothing. Then, slowly, he sensed a subtle pulse, a grounded, ancient heartbeat. The tree felt alive, patient, eternal. "The forest listens," Rinhai said, "and it never judges." Elias swallowed hard. His chest tightened. Word by word, he released truths he had buried for years. His fears of failure, the loneliness he hid behind smiles, the sorrow he carried like a shadow. He expected the forest to answer. Didn't. The silence was its compassion, a quiet reminder that his pain didn't make him broken, only human. A breeze passed, brushing the leaves as if blessing him. The night and the star that guides. Nightfall draped the mountains in deep blue. Elias and the master climbed to a high cliff where the sky opened wide, spilling galaxies above them. Stars shimmered like distant lanterns guiding wandering souls. "The world," Rinhai said, "does not require your perfection, only your presence." Elias gazed upward. The sheer vastness made his problems feel smaller, softer, like echoes losing their force. "What do I do with the darkness inside me?" he asked. "Don't chase it away," the master replied. "Sit with it. Offer it a lantern. Darkness is not your enemy. It is the part of you waiting to be understood." Elias breathed deeply. In the endless quiet of the night, something inside him aligned with the stars. Steady, luminous, eternal. He felt peace, not because everything was solved, but because he no longer ran from himself. The master's secret. Just before dawn, Elias found Master Rinhai seated on a stone facing the horizon. The sky glowed with soft pinks and golds. "Master," Elias said, "what is the greatest lesson I must take with me?" Rinhai smiled, eyes filled with kind wisdom. "That you do not need me." Elias froze. "All I showed you," continued Rinhai, "the mist, the silence, the tea, the river, the forest, the stars, they were mirrors. They revealed what lives inside you. Peace is not found in a place, a teacher, or a ritual. Peace is found in your awareness." Elias felt the truth resonate deeply. The master hadn't given him anything. He had simply uncovered what was already within. The mindful return. When Elias finally descended the mountain, the world felt different. Not because it had changed, but because he had. The path below glowed in the morning light. Birds called softly. Villages dotted the valley like gentle brushstrokes of life and humanity. Every sound felt like music. Every color felt like a blessing. Every breath felt like home. He remembered the master's final words. "When you can breathe calmly in the storm just as you breathe in stillness, you have learned the true path." Elias knew the world would challenge him. There would be days of chaos, nights of uncertainty, moments of sorrow. But he also knew something deeper. Within him lived a quiet mountain, a listening forest, a flowing river, a cup of present-moment tea, and a sky full of stars. At any moment he could return. And so, with a peaceful smile, Elias walked forward, into life, into presence, into himself.